Hello and welcome to Basics for Gamers presents The Basics of Combat Part 3, Reactions and Optional Actions. In our previous video, we discussed what a player can do when it is their turn, actions and bonus actions. Now we're going to examine what a player can do when it's not their turn, take reactions. Our look at reactions in this video will be fairly general as we've already discussed two of them in depth with other videos, those being opportunity attacks and the ready action. Links to those presentations are included in the description for this video. We're also going to discuss some of the optional actions included in the Dungeon Master's Guide. As the name implies, these are not standard universal rules, but are special rules for actions and bonus actions that may be included if the DM wishes. On each character's turn, they can move, declare an action, and take a bonus action. At the start of each turn, they also receive one reaction that can be used to allow them to do certain things when it is not their turn. Perhaps the most common use for a reaction is making an opportunity attack. When an enemy moves away from you in combat, they lower their guard and expose themselves to attack. When this happens, players may spend their reaction that round to make a melee attack against that enemy. If you would like more in-depth information on how this works, see our video on flanking and opportunity attacks. And in part 1 of this series, we discussed declaring a ready action that allows a character to act later than their spot in the initiative order and react to another character's actions. An action is used to declare that you are readying, but you must also spend your reaction when you react to the triggering condition. Again, links to the video where we discuss this and the video on opportunity attacks are included in the video description. More uses for your reaction may be granted by other means. For example, some spells have a casting time of one reaction, but much like with bonus actions, when something grants a reaction, what they're saying is you can add that item to your list of reaction options, but you're still limited to choosing only one reaction per turn. So if a character casts the shield spell to defend themselves from an attack, that spell has a casting time of one reaction. They then can't take any other reactions, such as making an opportunity attack, until the start of their next turn when all of their actions and their reaction are refreshed. So far we've covered the standard official actions from the Player's Handbook, but the Dungeon Master's Guide offers a few more ways to use your action. Note that these are considered game options, so check with your DM to make sure that they feel okay about including these rules in their game. The first is called Climb Onto a Bigger Creature. And come on, who hasn't wanted to do this at some point in a game? Everybody has. And I'd be hard pressed to think of a single fantasy movie that doesn't have at least one shot of a hero jumping on a cave troll or a dragon's back. Using this option, a small or medium-sized character can jump onto a size huge or larger creature and treat that creature's body as if it was difficult terrain. The normal rules apply for making a jump or using other means to cover the distance and get onto the monster's back. And this is largely up to the DM's discretion to decide what manner of checks are needed in order to accomplish this. But once a character is on the monster's back, that character spends their action to make a strength athletics check or a dexterity acrobatics check contested by the monster's dexterity acrobatics. If they succeed, the character now occupies the monster's space and can choose one of its squares to occupy if you're using the tactical rules. They will now move wherever the monster moves and can walk around on the spaces occupied by the monster's body as if it was difficult terrain. The character also has advantage on all attack rolls against that monster, whether or not the monster can attack the character riding them, and whether they have advantage or disadvantage to attack rolls is entirely left to the DM to decide based on the character's location and position relative to the monster. The monster can free itself from the character by spending an action and making a strength athletics check against the character's choice of either strength athletics or dexterity acrobatics. The result of this check is up to the DM to decide the effects of a rider being knocked off or scraped against a wall, or grabbed by a giant's hand and thrown across the room. The next option is called overrun. When some fool stands between where you are and where you want to be, sometimes it's best just to run them over. As either an action or a bonus action, a character can attempt to force their way through an enemy space with a contest of strength athletics checks. The moving character gains advantage to that check if they are at least one size category larger than the creature they're plowing through, and disadvantage if they're smaller. No damage or other effects are applied to the target, and the defending creature may make opportunity attacks as usual if provoked. And the last action option to discuss here is tumbling. This rule allows a character also to pass through an enemy space by weaving between, vaulting over, or deftly sliding under their enemies. As either an action or a bonus action, the moving character and the enemy that they are tumbling past each roll dexterity acrobatics checks. If the moving character wins, they can move through the enemy space one time during their turn, but this acrobatic tumble will still provoke opportunity attacks as usual. In this video, we discussed reactions and optional actions in D&D. The attack action and all of its uses will be covered further in the next part of this series. Reactions allow characters to do things when it is not their turn. Characters may only declare one reaction between their turns, the most common of which are opportunity attacks, but can also be used as part of a ready action or casting a spell with a casting time of one reaction. But the key to remember is, like with bonus actions, no matter how many options for reactions are available to you, you can only use one of them per turn. There are a few optional actions that we discussed. These are not universally recognized rules, and it is at the discretion of each DM to decide if they want to include it in their game. The first is climb onto a bigger creature. This rule allows small and medium-sized creatures to jump onto the backs of huge or larger enemies and fight them from there. Overrun allows a character to force their way past an enemy with a contested strength athletics check. And tumbling serves a similar purpose, allowing a character to nimbly dart their way past an enemy with a dexterity acrobatics check. Both overrun and tumbling can be made with either an action or a bonus action. With that, we'll bring this video to a close. If you found this video helpful, please give us a like, and don't forget to click that subscribe button and the bell so you never miss out on our future videos. Leave us a comment letting us know what topics you'd like to see covered in our future videos, and we can always be reached through our Twitter and Facebook pages too. If you'd like to use some of the maps that we feature in our videos in your own games, you can find them at Maps of Mastery. A link to that store can be found in the description. Thanks for watching, take care, and we'll see you soon with more basics for your favorite tabletop games.